Welcome back, dear students. In today's session, I'm going to solve English Paper 2 Literature in English ISC Pre-Board Examinations question from Section A. Section A carrying 20 marks, MCQs and give reasons. Let's start solving these questions. The question paper is a little hazy. I'll read out the questions so that you do not face any difficulty. Question 1. Choose the correct options for the following options. Question 1. If Ferdinand would refuse to accept Miranda as his wife, what will she do? Option A. She will die a maiden. Option B. She will never marry again. Option C. She will commit suicide. Or option D. She'll never see a human being. The right answer is option A. She will die a maiden. 2. Which of the following is not an option given by Caliban to kill Prospero, to knock out his brain, to rip open his belly with a log, to drown him in the sea, to cut his windpipe with a knife? The right answer is option C, to drown him in the sea. Caliban's claim on the island reflects Shakespeare's views on slavery, colonization, racial prejudices, both A and B. The right answer is both A and B. Colonization and slavery. He does not want to serve Prospero and he feels that Prospero has used his magic in order to take away the island that rightfully belonged to Caliban. Next, what does sunset in the poem Crossing the Bar signify? The poet's imminent and impending death, the darkness spread all around, the poet's fear to meet his death, the poet and the pilot god being face to face. The poet's fear to meet his death is not the right answer. Eliminate it at once. Option D is also not appropriate. The darkness spread all around is the literal meaning, but what does sunset signify or symbolize? The right answer is option A, the poet's imminent and impending death. It is the sunset of his life. In the poem Dover Beach, what is faith in religion and spirituality compared to? A strait, a sea, a beach, or a cliff? Sea of faith. Option B is the right answer. A sea of faith. Question 6. In the story of an hour, what does delicious breath of rain signify? Spring, youth, spring, freshness, spring, a new beginning, or all of the above? The right answer is spring, a new beginning. Delicious breath of rain, rejuvenating power of rain. So it's a new beginning for Mrs. Mallard after the death of her husband. Question number 7. The letter from Mr. Basil had dashed Miss Meadows' heart, gladdened, soothed, pierced, embalmed. The right answer is option C, pierced her heart. When the boy calmed down, B. Wordsworth would tell him the names of the stars. Which constellation did he always remember? The Great Bear, Orion, the Hunter, Gemini, the Twins, or Taurus, the Bull? B is the right answer. Orion, the Hunter. The poem Birches describes the reminiscence of an adult about his carefree life as a child, his boyhood days of climbing the trees, his boyhood days of swinging on birches, or his childhood days in the lap of nature. Here, the most appropriate response seems to be option A, his carefree life as a child. As an adult, he wants to temporarily escape from the monotonous adult world into the childhood days when he was free, when he was carefree, and when he enjoyed himself. So, option A is the right answer. Question 10. In the poem, the music makers, what happens when the poet suffers? Nineveh is built, Babel is built, both Babel and Nineveh are built, or none of these. What is the right answer? The right answer is Nineveh is built. Nineveh is built with our sign and Babel is built with our mirth. Let's come to question number 2. Give reasons. Complete the following sentences by providing a reason for each 10 marks. Do check the pinned comments section because we have important videos on give reasons and important MCQs as well. Prospero calls Antonio an unnatural brother in Act 5 because unnatural is important. Because he usurped the dukedom of Milan by hatching a conspiracy against Prospero, has sinned against God and violated the bonds of brotherly love and of human decency by exposing his banished brother's daughter to a life of hardship. All these points must be there in your single reason. He hatched a conspiracy against his own brother, therefore unnatural. He has sinned against God because a king was considered to be the representative of God on earth. And number 3, he violated the bonds of brotherly love, betrayed his brother, and of human decency by exposing his brother's innocent daughter to a life of hardship. Therefore, Prospero rightfully calls Antonio an unnatural brother. Focus on the term unnatural. These are the points that must be used as a single reason. Number 2, Ceres avoided the disgraceful company of Venus and her son Cupid because once Pluto, the divine force of death, stole away her little girl with the assistance of Venus and Cupid. This is a reason. After this, question 3, Ariel was obedient to Prospero because he was eager to be free and Prospero had saved Ariel from Sycorax's spell with a promise to grant him his freedom. Therefore, Ariel was obedient, unlike Caliban, who did not obey Prospero at all. Question 4. In The Story of an Hour, Mrs. Mallard received no injury in the accident. Mr. Mallard received no injury in the accident because he had been far away from the scene of the accident. This is a brief single reason. Now the length of the reason is going to vary depending on the question. Question 5. In his last moments, B. Wordsworth acknowledged that the boy had poet's eye because the boy was sensitive and could look into the underlying significance of things and realize that B. Wordsworth was going to die. Hence, he was acknowledged that he had poet's eye. Question 6. The story, The Sound Machine, is a grim reminder to all human beings not to cut plants and trees indiscriminately because human beings are ignoring the nature's sound which it gives out through natural calamities. And if we continue this, we will be on the brink of destruction and doom. The experiment of Klosner was doomed, and it was a tree that caused its destruction. And if we do not pay attention to nature's sound, we will also be destroyed by agents of nature. We will share the same fate of the sound machine, of Klosner's sound machine. So this is the specific reason. Question 7. The hairline trail, absence of the sun, and the tremendous cold made no impression on the man in the story to build a fire because he was a newcomer in the land and he lacked imagination. After this, question 8 from The Darkling Thrush. The poem The Darkling Thrush is an elegy because It was written towards the end of the 19th century, representing the sadness and hopelessness of the Victorian era. And Hardy was gloomy in these uncertain times because of the after effects of the Industrial Revolution. The social context is important. The mood of the poet is important. Hardy was gloomy and there was hopelessness and sadness of the Victorian era. Hence, the poem is an elegy. After this, question number 9. The artists are considered by the society as losers and forsakers because, alienated from the hustle and bustle of life, they are far removed from materialism and looked upon as unsuccessful. Therefore, they are called losers and they seem rebellious and oppose the world and its happenings. Therefore, they are forsakers, rebellious and not so successful from the monetary point of view, losers. And the last one, question number 10. In the last stanza of the poem Dover Beach, the speaker turns to his love and says they should be true to each other because love is the only anchorage, anchorage, in the Victorian age, which is characterized by moral bankruptcy, loss of faith in religion, and chaos and doubt. Do check the pinned comment section because we have covered the entire syllabus so that you can have a thorough and good exam preparation. Subscribe to our channel and stay connected.